everybody. Karla with Karla's Clever Crafts. Promise, thanks to everybody who voted on which Halloween wreath kits that I have in my shop I should make for this year's design. And the one that received the most votes was this wonderful Hocus Pocus. So we have this sign, and here is our ribbon collection. So I will talk a little bit here in a minute about how I selected my patterns and colors and so forth. And then I'm on a mission to try to use up some materials that I have laying around. And I have some black and white Halloween berries here and a couple flowers. And then I had this pack of flowers that I ordered for another project and then decided not to use. So I'm going to maybe see if we can use some of these on here. We've got the black, the yellow, we've got the purple. So we may incorporate a few of these. I'm not sure yet. I'm just basically pulling everything I can to try to use up stuff that I have laying around or packed in totes. Okay, so I had planned on being much more organized this morning, and I am sorry that I am not. I'm going to try to pull up my comments here now. I had way more orders yesterday than I had anticipated, so that has put me behind today. I probably should have scheduled this for a little later in the afternoon, but I was trying to hit people's lunch break so more people could join. I'm going to try real quick on my iPad here to pull up the comments. First, I need to turn the volume down. My vision's really bad, so I have trouble seeing anyway. I'm going to do my best here. Hopefully I went live on the right page. Okay, it says I'm live. There it is. Bear with me for just a minute. Okay, I see that I'm live and I have one person watching. So if you could say hi and let me know who's watching. And we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm sure more people will join in. This was kind of a last minute plan to go live. I have only... I think I only had one Halloween design and maybe a couple Day of the Dead designs in my Etsy shop. So I guess you can't run a wreath business and not have some Halloween wreaths. So I couldn't decide which ones to make. I don't have time. I have about 20 Halloween wreath designs in my shop, and I couldn't decide which of those to make. So I was definitely, when I made the post this past week, asking everybody to vote on which ones I should make. I was thinking that I was going to make probably 5 or so for this season. So I'm probably going to pick the top 5 and make them. You guys let me know in the comments if you think I should do them on live, or maybe just do a tutorial or just do them behind the scenes. I haven't decided on that yet, but we're definitely going to do the winner today. Normally I have Krafts made ahead of time. I did not even get that done because, like I said, I had more orders than I anticipated, and my orders come first always. So I like to meet Etsy's required time frames, and I like to have happy customers. I even forgot to get pipe cleaners, I just noticed. And usually I have a bunch laying around me, but probably not today. But I'll go get those in a moment. Okay, so I haven't even cut the purple mesh. When I looked at my kit and was deciding on which meshes to include, of course I designed the kit. I actually found this ribbon. This design started with the I Smelled Children ribbon. And once I found this, it actually came with this polka dot ribbon. I do have this kit in my shop, but if you want to go out and source the materials individually because you don't need a complete kit or you don't want to buy the sign and ribbon bundle, I did find these on Etsy. I believe it was last year. Not 100% sure, but they may still have it on there. Okay, so these came together. I purchased the sign also on Amazon to coordinate. So that's how I came up with these. And then I decided that I wanted to have all of their hair colors, because that's, you know, the famous thing about Hocus Pocus, in my design. So I picked the yellow and orange because these two ribbons had purple incorporated in them. But then I felt like when I was choosing my mesh, I'm just going to give you my whole, how I think when I design. I realized that we probably needed to pull in a little more of the purple because we have these bright orange and yellows. So I went with a purple mesh, and then I always like to use more than one mesh, or at least have a multicolored mesh. So I had this orange that has like this gold metallic woven through it, and I had this cut up for another project, which is why you see some fraying here. And as part of my mission of using a product that I have laying around, I thought that would be perfect because it has the gold to bring in some of the yellow, gives us the orange and the purple, and then it's going to give us more purple to go with the ribbon color here to tie that in a little bit more. So anyway, that's how I typically think through my designs. I usually start with a sign or a ribbon that I really love, and then I go from there. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is cut my purple mesh because, like I said, I didn't even have time to do that in advance. Please, if you're watching, guys, say hi and let me know you're here. Chat with me so it's a little more entertaining. Otherwise, I'll just whiz through how I do this design, and you guys will have a great tutorial, hopefully. Okay, so when I cut my mesh, lots of people cut one piece at a time. Wood burn, scissors, rotary cutters. A lot of times I am short on time. If you follow me on Facebook, you know I always have a million things going on no matter what time of the year it is. So right now is canning and gardening season. On top of, I help take care of my grandmother, and on top of that, making my designs, running my business, and all of those good things. So I have a pre-cut 18-inch piece of cardboard here, and I am just going to wrap 2, 3, 4, 5. Will we get 6? Not quite. Okay, so we have 5 pieces here. I make sure that I keep a hold of my mesh so it's not slipping and sliding around. I also look under here where I started, because sometimes that will slide and make this first piece a little too short, which did happen here. So I'm just going to slide it down to make sure I have 5 good pieces there. And then I'm just going to cut across the top where the cardboard is, making sure I keep a hold of everything so it doesn't slip and slide. Then I'm going to grab the other end, get rid of that small piece, keeping a hold the whole time, and then I'm going to cut this end. And that is how Karla cuts her mesh. Okay, so we have 5 here. We need 9 total. So I have another roll. We're going to cut 4 more, and I'm going to do them exactly the same way. Just makes it faster for me. And when you're making Krafts, which is what I'm going to do today, the cut edges are protected, so I don't think that it's necessary to cut each piece individually or whatever. You're going to have some fraying no matter how you cut it. So this is just faster. Oh, hi, Ida. Thank you so much for the stars. That's super sweet. I hope you have a blessed day, too. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you so much for following. If you have a business page, let me know, because I will definitely follow you back. Another thing that I'm all about, particularly on Facebook, is making sure that I support my fellow crafters and small businesses that help me out. Okay, so we're just going to pull this up here to the end again. Make sure we keep a hold of it while we're wrapping. Like I said, sometimes that will slide, and I always just double check before I cut to make sure it's still in the right position so I don't end up with a short piece. And again, it slid down, so I'm just sliding the mesh to get that piece back up to the top. Double check my count. Yes, we have 4. Okay, and if you haven't followed my page before, the design I'm making today, I posted my Halloween wreath kits last week on my page and asked everybody to vote on which designs they thought I should make. I sell the wreath kits in my Etsy shop, but I noticed I didn't have any Halloween finished wreaths in my shop. And I always, you know, try to keep at least a little bit of every season and holiday stocked in there. So need to get some Halloween designs done, and everybody voted, and this Hocus Pocus design was the winner. So that's why I'm making this live today. I'm also going to make 4 more of the designs that everybody voted for. I haven't decided if I'm going to make those live just yet. But you can let me know in the comments if you think I should make them live. Or I could just do a straightforward tutorial offline and then upload that. What do you guys think is best? What do you prefer? Okay. So I'm going to have to run and grab us 20 pipe cleaners upstairs, which I will go ahead and do that now. And then when I come back, I'm going to show you how I attach my sign. It will just take me a second, guys. Okay, and here we have 20 pipe cleaners. I have these already pre-bundled because if you buy my complete wreath kits, the pipe cleaners are included. So that made that easy for us today. Take my rubber bands off and save because I reuse everything. Typical crafter, right? Thank you again, Ida. Those stars helped me so much. I really do appreciate that. A lot of people don't understand the stars, but they help provide money to those of us who try to continue to bring you these tutorials and stuff free. So it is really a really nice gesture and a really good help. More importantly than the money that they help us earn, they help our page to grow. When we receive stars, Etsy or Facebook recognizes that as valuable content, and then they will push that out to more viewers, so more people actually get to see our content. If you don't get stars, likes, hearts, shares, those types of things, comments, then Etsy thinks it's not valuable content. Their viewers, their patrons don't like it, and so then they don't show it to as many people. Okay, so we're going to wire the frame together because, like I said, I didn't have much prep time. Thankfully, I was blessed with more orders than I had expected. Okay, so I'm going to, this is a 14-inch wireframe from the Dollar Tree, and I'll tell you where I got all my materials, even though I offer the wreath kits in my shop, because I know wreath kits are great for people who need convenience and don't have a lot of time and things like that. But there are others that make wreaths on a full-time basis or already have a lot of supplies on hand and don't need to buy the full wreath kit. So I will tell you where all of my supplies came from too, in case they're places that you already order and you could just order them where I got them. Okay. So each of these frames has a section, or 6 sections, I'm sorry, and I consider a section this area in between these 2 crossbars. We're going to put 3 pipe cleaners in each section for a total of 18. I'm going to start on the inside 2 rings and put one right in the middle of the section. And I pull my pipe cleaners kind of tight as I'm twisting. That helps keep them from moving around when we're adding our mesh and ribbons. So we have one in the middle of the 2 crossbars. And then I'm just going to come out here to the outside 2 bars on each side and put one in between the middle pipe cleaner and the crossbar. And that's how we're going to get our 3 in each section. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Ida, if you want to learn how to make these, watch my tutorials. Girl, you can do this. Anybody can do this. It does, you know, I didn't, it took me a while to get to where I made wreaths that I thought was beautiful. You don't start off with just huge success typically. and it takes a lot of practice, but anybody can do it. So if it's a passion for you, and you're thinking about it and haven't started, like Miss Ida, give it some more thought, because you could watch and follow these tutorials. This is how I learned. I watched other people. I watched Julie's Wreath Boutique and Kat's Creations. You know, I started several years ago. But the ladies that I'm mentioning are actually still doing this, so it is a true passion for them. Some of them are now business coaches, as a matter of fact. Julie from Julie's Wreath Boutique is my business coach. I need to spend more time in the coaching class. I will admit that I don't do that enough. I need to prioritize that. But I stay so busy. And I know that's not a good excuse, because it should be at the top of my list. But anyway, the whole point of all of that was that anybody can do this. And you just find your favorite wreath makers, your favorite personalities, those that you connect with, hopefully me, and follow them. I have tons of tutorials on my YouTube. Have tons of videos here also on Facebook. Unfortunately, Facebook has notified us that they're going to be deleting all of the live videos that are over 30 days old. I think they've already begun that. My videos, I did request an extension, so my videos are staying up until, I think it's September 3rd. So got like a week left on those. I have tried, I still have some to go through, but I have tried to download them, and I'm moving those all over to my YouTube channel. That's why I don't go live as much on Facebook now. I'm a little leery that they are going to maybe do away with it. I don't know why they've started this deletion process. I don't know what the motive behind it was, so just a little bit concerned about where that's going to go. But in the meantime, I've decided to go ahead and do some lives, and then I can just download them and upload them onto my YouTube channel. If you're watching later on when I'm not live and you're watching the replay, please comment below in the comments, hashtag replay, just so that I know you know who's viewing the video, and whether it's you know, a liked tutorial, or if I need to change something or do something different. Okay, so we have 2 pipe cleaners left. These are going to be for our sign. And you can see here that I did the 3 in each section. And we have 6 on the inside 2 rings, 12 on the outside 2 rings, which gives us our total of 18. And then these 2 will be for our sign, which I'm going to go ahead and set that up next, because we need to allow our glue plenty of time to fully cure. It takes 30 minutes for the type of glue that I use. And I use this DAP Rapid Fuse. It starts to cure in 15 to 30 seconds and fully cures in 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to go right around these pre-drilled holes in the sign. It does not take very much of this glue, so I just add a little bit. And then, oh, I didn't show you. I use these sign mounts. They're actually called cable mounts, and I buy them in bulk on Amazon. Whoops, sorry. But if you buy my wreath kit, I include those, as well as the pipe cleaners, the frame, and a roll of deco mesh. Okay. And these have a little sticky pad on them that helps hold it in place while it's curing, which is really nice, because I don't have to sit here and hold it the whole time until it starts curing. I can just give it a good press down, and then I know that it's going to stay until it finishes curing. So I'm just going to lay this over to the side with the 2 pipe cleaners, and we'll finish that up in a little while when we get to the point of adding our sign. I'm going to try to get some space freed up here. Okay. All right, so I am going to lay our ribbons to the side. If I can figure out, I think I knocked some of them in the floor. Boy, I'm on a roll, as always. Okay, anyway, there's 2 of them. Let's get our mesh over here so I have room to work. Okay. If I have fraying, which I do on these orange pieces, I just kind of trim it off as I go. But you will see why earlier in the video I said that I'm going to do Krafts, which protect these cut edges and reduces the fraying. So you will see that now when I show you how to make these. Okay, so this is, I believe, 18 inches. And I am going to start my Krafts just by folding this edge over. Now this type of mesh is fraying pretty bad, so I'm gonna probably roll this several times. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go ahead and do a 6th one. I usually do 4 to 5, but I'm gonna go ahead. And the reason I roll it and curl it tight is because it keeps all that cut edge tucked underneath and protects it. Okay, so I'm going to put the clip on to help me out so I don't have to try to multitask. That will hold that. And then I can just do the same thing on this end. Fold this over. I'm going to roll several times, make sure all that cut edge is under there real good. And then I'm going to turn my Krafts face down with the curls face down and then just scrunch really small sections right up the middle. And by doing that, that gives us the ruffle part of the Krafts. Okay, so my finished ruffle looks like that on the bottom and like that on the top. Okay, and I'm going to come right in here and just put it on my first outside pipe cleaner. And I pull these really tight, and again, I keep pulling when I'm twisting. Just give it 1 to 2 good twists. And then I'm gonna work in order on these pipe cleaners today. I don't always do that, but today I'm gonna work in order. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these to the outside so I don't skip or miss any. And we're gonna come to this one in the middle next. Okay, and we're going to rotate our colors. So let's do purple. I'll lay this out here and do one really slow with you guys again to give you the instructions. Okay, now this one is not fraying as bad. This is also a metallic mesh, the same as the orange, but it's made differently. This is a wide metallic, so we've got less fraying on this. Okay. So we're going to just fold that over. Use your pinkies to keep the edges down. And then just roll it. I roll these circles small so that these ends stay tight when I make the ruffle part. The bigger your circle, the more that this end will spring open. And sometimes it will expose that cut edge. Okay. Same process on the other end. Turn it face down and just scrunch right up the middle. Okay, we're going to lay the finished, I'm putting these in with the finished edge to the inside and the outside. Again, pull really tight and continue to pull while you twist. And we're going to do that around all 18 pipe cleaners, guys. Okay, so lay this out one more time. I think, actually, now that I'm looking at this orange, I had cut this for another project. I think I might have cut this orange at 20 inches because it looks longer than the purple. If you're doing this design, you can go anywhere between 18 and 20 with your mesh pieces, and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna get the same result. I may have known when I cut this about the fray issue and may have cut it a little extra to give me more room to roll those edges underneath. So if you have a mesh that's susceptible to fraying more, that's, you know, something to consider when you're deciding how long to cut your mesh pieces. A little bit longer gives you more to work with to get your cut edges underneath. Seeing a piece of metallic hanging out there, so I'm just going to trim that. If you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments. Okay, and now we're just going to try to work quickly through these. Normally on a day when I had more preparing time, I would have a bunch of these cruffles made in advance, but like I said, I was working on orders all morning and didn't get it done. So just gives us longer to hang out. It's okay. Okay, so now purple. I'm liking the purple-orange contrast. What do you guys think of that? Can you see that? Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. I think these selections are going to work out well. If you guys, I'm just going to like quickly run through making these. I've been making them for years, so I can be a little faster with it. If you guys want me to do it slow again and show you the steps that I do again, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do that. So you're going to need 9 pieces of the orange mesh and 9 pieces of the purple. Again, they're cut, the orange is 20 inches, the purple is 18. Those measurements are, you can change those. That's a question that I get frequently on my tutorials, is how long do you cut your mesh? And I know when I first started out, I was always concerned about that as well. There's no exact science to the length of your mesh. It's what works for you. If you're working on a smaller craft budget, go with the 18 inches. If you are, you know, wanting a thicker, fuller design, you may want to do 22, 24 inches. Another factor is what I've been talking about. For me, the biggest factor is protecting the cut edges so that I reduce fraying on my customers' wreaths. The length also will depend on what type of method you're using. If you're doing a ruffle, I've cut my ruffles at 22 inches each. So I like longer pieces for the ruffles and the pancake method. I had cut this orange mesh for another project, and I think it's so flashy. It's like there's so much. There's silver and there's thin lines of silver metallic in it, iridescent silver, and then there's also like multiple lines of gold metallic. And I think the design I was going to use it on, it just ended up being too flashy for that. It was more of like a rustic farmhouse design. But I think I have finally found a wreath that I'm going to really love it on. I think it's going to look good on our Hocus Pocus. Hi, Kathy Ann. Thank you so much for following me. If you got anybody who's new to following me, please, if you have a business page or a craft page or anything, you know, that I can offer you support in return, go ahead and put it in the comments for me, and afterwards I will be sure to follow you back and engage with your content. I love seeing other people's creations. Again, I'll say it. I know it's repetitive, so for those of you who've hung with me the whole time, I'm sorry. But I'm just running through these Krafts really quickly right now. I did them slowly to explain how I did them in the beginning. If you want me to do another one slower, just let me know as I'm going around here before I get them all done. It looks like we're either halfway or a little over halfway. So almost done with this part. It's a little repetitive, but I love seeing it come together, the contrast of the ruffles. And then the way that I'm laying these in here all in the same direction gives this nice little like layered look of these curls right in the middle, which I love. That's going to frame up right around our sun nicely when we put our sun in the middle. Okay. Orange. I decided not to incorporate yellow mesh, even though you know we have the orange, yellow, and purple color hair on our 3 witches, because I felt like that too much yellow would take away from our Halloween theme. So that's why I went with the orange mesh that has the gold running through it instead, and then the purple mesh. But I am going to use a yellow ribbon, so we'll see what that looks like. See if that works. Getting close to adding the ribbons. We'll be doing that stuff next. Oh, I told you guys I would tell you where I got these from. This purple wide metallic mesh is from craftoutlet.com. And this orange with the gold and iridescent silver metallic running through it is from bbcrafts.com. I did buy this one a couple years ago, so I don't know if they still carry that, but I'm sure they have something similar, or Craft Outlet, if you want to order all in one place, which is what I typically do. I do big bulk orders so I can get free shipping and order my supplies from one place. I'm sure that Craft Outlet has a similar orange, and I'm sure BB Crafts also has a similar purple. So even though mine came from 2 different places, I'm sure you could find something comparable at each of those places. And I've found that their prices are very good too. I haven't ordered from BB Crafts for a while. I don't know why. I guess I just haven't had the craft budget to do it. But the last time I was on their page, they had excellent prices. And I forget what amount you have to spend, but if you spend a certain amount, you get free shipping. Craft Outlet is my go-to, not gonna lie. Get most of my supplies there. Love their quality, love their prices, and if you spend $69, you get free shipping there. They also have a point reward system. Well, I think it's based on the dollar amount that you spend now per year, and you can get so much off of your orders. And where I order so much and so frequently, I get 7% off of all of my orders. And you can get higher. If you spend more, you can get, I think it's up to 10% off. So that's why most of my orders go through Craft Outlet. Those are the several reasons. Quality, pricing, the discount plus the free shipping. Okay, guys, we just got, I think, 4 more left. And we'll be ready to add on another layer and see this come together even more. What do you guys think of that purple and orange? I'm really loving the two. Must have been a long time since I've done a Halloween design because my shop's empty, and you know, I'm just really taken with this contrast between purple and orange. I'm sure I've done purple and orange bases before. I guess it's just been a while. When we finish this design, the end result will be a 24-inch wide wreath that is about 5 to 6 inches deep. And we're making that on the 14-inch frame from the Dollar Tree. What do you guys think of the dollar store price increases? Always curious what other people think. Go ahead and give my opinion. I think for some of their products, they're just not worth it. They're not worth the price increase. However, they do have other products that I think the price increase could be justified for. One of those is the wreath frame. Their metal wreath frames that they have. Now, I'm not sure about the little grapevines and the other ones that they have. I'm not sure that, I don't know how those will do. But all of the metal wreath frames, the snowman, the pumpkin, the 14-inch, the 18-inch, I think all of those, I think it's fair, the price increase on those. The florals, I will not be paying those price increases. There's just too many other places to get better quality florals for around the same price. Or some places even less. Walmart has similar florals for 97 cents. So, oops. Skipped the orange. Sorry about that, guys. And then I don't know about their signs either. And if you followed me for a length of time, I have been a huge Dollar Tree fan and love their signs. One of the reasons that I love their signs is a lot of my customers purchase seasonally, and when they use it for one season, they want something new the next season. They don't reuse the same design over and over. So that's part of my customer base, not all. And for them, it was great to use those Dollar Tree signs because they would last one season, and then the signs start to fade or come apart because of the type of material or whatever. So they were really only good one season. With the price increase, I don't think I'm going to be buying the signs. I think I'm going to be shopping elsewhere for signs. You know, when I could get them for $1 or $1.25, I could still keep my wreath prices low for my customers that like a new wreath design every year. But the more they keep increasing those prices, the harder they make it for me to keep my prices down. Okay, we ended up with an extra orange here, and that's okay. We'll just move it out of our way. We'll do our one last purple. You guys are quiet today. I will take pictures of this after a while and post the finished wreath later too. Just in case anybody has to leave the live early and doesn't get to see the finished result, you'll be able to see it on my page later. Okay, now that we have all of those in there, I am only going to use 12 of these pipe cleaners to add ribbon, and we have 18, so we need to cut off 6 of them. I don't like to cut off the inside one because I like to have an inside, outside ribbon place to put my ribbons. So one set of ribbons inside, one set of ribbons outside, one set of ribbons inside, one set of ribbons outside. So in order to achieve that, what I do is right here is an inside pipe cleaner. I'm going to cut off the one right before it. So that way I know I'm getting one of the outside ones. And then to make sure I keep my spacing even and cut off the right one all the way around, the next two get left, and then the third one gets cut. The next two we leave, the third one we cut. And when I cut them off, I push down. I leave a little piece of the pipe cleaner and push that down and then squeeze it to make sure my mesh is secure. We got some fraying here I'm gonna take off. Okay, so we're gonna leave these two. It's a pretty mesh, but it's a fraying mesh. So leave these two and cut off this one. And be careful when you're doing this not to cut your mesh. I've made that mistake before. So we'll leave these two and cut this one. And leave these two and cut this one. And I think this is our last one, yes. So we have 12 pipe cleaners here left, and we're going to add 2 pieces of ribbon in each pipe cleaner, which is going to give us, we're going to use a total of 24 pieces. Okay, let me grab the ribbon that I knocked off earlier. Okay, and just like I cheat when I cut my mesh, I cheat when I cut my ribbon. Okay, so I make these wreath kits, and in my shop I sell the sign by itself, I sell the sign and the ribbon bundle together, I sell the ribbon bundle by itself, and then I sell a complete wreath kit where you can get the sign, the ribbons, roll of mesh, and all the other things that you see me using to attach to the wreath. I also, of course, do the finished wreaths. You can purchase the finished wreaths if you're not crafty or make your own. So when I make my ribbon bundles, I have a 12-inch piece of cardboard because I cut all my ribbon tails to 12 inches. That also is something that's personal preference and you can vary. I've tried multiple lengths and I tend to like between 11 and 12. So I just went with 12. I wrap my ribbon 9 times around that 12-inch board, and that's how I measure 3 yards or 9 feet to include in my ribbon bundles. So if you order it, you get basically this, okay? I have 4 different ribbons that I'm using. I only need 6 of each. So I'm going to go ahead, I have 9 here. I'm going to unwrap 1, 2, 3, which should leave me with 6. And I double check and it does. So I'm going to cut this piece off. And now you have this much, you'll have this much of each color left over. If you do this design, that can be used for a bow or anything else you wanted to add to your wreath. If you want to use more ribbons than I do, the kits come with extra. Okay, and then to dovetail it, I'm just going to do it all at one time, you guys. I'm going to take these 6 pieces of ribbon that I'm using. I'm going to fold this over. And I use very, very, very sharp scissors that I get from Amazon, 3-pack. Last time I purchased them, they were $9.99, but prices are changing so rapidly these days. I'm not sure how much they are right now. But they're durable, they're great. and I cut everything with them. If you watch me make my wreaths, you'll see I cut wires, ribbons, pipe cleaners, zip ties. Okay, and then all we have to do is turn this around to the other end. Fold it over. We're cutting from the folded side up to the wired side at an angle. And we have our dovetails. Okay, so all of our orange ribbons are now ready. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this polka dot only has 7 pieces because this was not part of a kit. It was what I had left over. So I'm just going to cut off the one piece, repeat the same process. And again, I just wrap them around a 12-inch piece of cardboard to measure them. Quick and easy and fast. And works perfect. That's the most important part. Works perfect. Okay, so now we have all of our polka dot ribbons cut and dovetailed. And this is the yellow that I was talking about. We're going to see. It's an unusual Halloween color, but I'm going to try it. You know, I love to try unique and different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Sometimes I do make bows and put on my designs. I'm thinking I'm not going to on this one because I'm going to add a few little embellishments maybe. Again, when you're dovetailing, remember you're cutting from the folded edge up toward the wired edge up here. Try to keep those edges lined up as much as possible so you get nice even dovetails. Okay, and then of course here's our I Smell Children ribbon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8 of these. I need to cut off 2. Even though I only have 8 of these and 7 of that polka dot, all of my kits come with 9 feet of each ribbon. These were just what was left on the roll after I made all my kits. Okay, and now we've got all of our ribbons ready. I'll show you how I put these on. This is like everything else, practice and finding the way that you are most comfortable putting your ribbons on. I do mine 2 at a time, but you can do them 1 at a time, whatever direction you like them to lay or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to start with a polka dot, and I think I'm going to put the orange behind the polka dot. So I have, this is 1.5 inch ribbon. This is 2.5 inch. Okay, and I just make an X on the table in front of me. Try to line up my ends as close as possible. And then I just scrunch them in the middle and pinch them together like that. Then I'm ready to just put them down inside of the pipe cleaner. Again, pull as you're twisting so that you're getting this really tight. I tell everybody if you can't pick up your wreath by the ribbons, you didn't get them secure enough. And then just, I leave, I don't know if you can see down in there, but I leave a little piece, about probably a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And I fold that over and then just squeeze it really tight. And then just adjust your ribbons I like to arch mine outward and curl the ends down. But again, you'll find what you like and what works for you. It may be the same as what I do, or you may find that you like doing something else different. Okay. And now we're just going to come to the very next pipe cleaner. We're going to rotate. So now we need I Smell Children and yellow. Okay. Again, just going to crisscross in front of me. Line up my edges. Scrunch in the middle. Straight down in the pipe cleaner. Pull and twist 3 or 4 good times because you want your ribbons to be very secure. Nothing like paying $50 to $100 for a handmade wreath for it to fall apart, right? I don't know. If I was the customer, I think I'd be very unhappy. I think the whole reason for buying handmade, aside from the unique factor, is the quality and the time and care and love into designing it and putting it together. So that's why I'm very big on reducing the fray and making sure everything's nice and secure. This ribbon is a little wrinkled because it was the end of the roll, so I'm just trying to straighten it out a little bit. I'm really liking the pop of yellow. What do you guys think? I'll hold it up so you can see better after I get a little bit more on here. I wasn't sure what I was going to think of that, but I like it. Because we've got the yellow in the polka dots and we've got the yellow hair in the I Smell Children. I think it's unique and awesome. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but... I think the way that your ribbons lay is very important to the overall look of your finished design. So you will see me be very finicky with my ribbons and very picky. I spend a good deal of time working them and reworking them, and I'll do it again when I hang it up to take the pictures, because then you see what it actually looks like on display. Okay, so since we're rotating, we need this one next. Do you ladies have any questions? Thoughts? Okay, so here's what the ribbons are looking like so far. What do you guys think about the pop of yellow? I think it's, I'll try to get a better angle. My camera seems to be too close for some reason. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really liking it. May not be for everybody though. Okay, so now we need polka dot and orange again. And remember, we're only doing 12 pipe cleaners. So you'll be using 6 of each bundle. And you'll need 6 of each ribbon. So 6 yellow, 6 orange, 6 polka dot, and 6 of the I Smell Children. The I Smell Children and the polka dot came as part of a bundle from Amazon. So if it's better for you to purchase the items individually than as a wreath kit from my shop, you can get those on Amazon if they still have them. And then the yellow and the orange are both Craft Outlet ribbons. And I buy my solid colors in the 50-yard rolls because I make so many wreaths that it's just more cost effective for me. But they do also have the 10-yard rolls. So whichever works for you. Okay, this is a one-directional ribbon, so I'm going to try to pay attention and make sure that as I come across the top here, I keep them going the same direction as the ones I did down at the bottom. It's not a huge deal if we make a mistake, which I usually do, because you can just twist them once you hang it up to make them face the right direction. If you notice that one of your one-directional ribbons is going the wrong way. Or if you're like me, on some designs, I like the fun and whimsical of the ribbons going in all different directions, so I don't even, I don't worry about that. But on this particular one, it has words that people will be reading, so for that reason, I kind of want the ribbons to face the same way as the sign. This one's giving me a fit. Okay, now we need a polka dot. We're getting close to finished, you guys. You guys that are new followers, let me know in the comments, have you ever made wreaths? And if so, do you do it as a hobby or a business? Are you new to wreath making? Are you just now thinking about making wreaths? I'd love to know like where you're at in your journey. Oh, you guys, look what I did. I skipped a pipe cleaner. No, 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 no. That gets our pattern off. So, tip of the day, don't skip a pipe cleaner. So I'm just going to move this one over real quick. I should have known by how big the space was there that I didn't have it right. It might have been why I was also fighting with those ribbons so badly. Okay, now I've got this little short one to work with, but we can do this. I've made this mistake before, so any mistake is fixable. Remember again, I'm going to turn this upside down, so trying to keep them facing the same way. A little extra piece of ribbon that didn't snip off. Getting close. We will add the sign next, and then I will decide if I want to add any embellishments or just leave it with the ribbons and the mesh. You guys let me know if you think I should make the next Halloween design I do live on Facebook, live on YouTube, or behind the scenes. I don't know what else to call it. Alright, we've got 3 ribbons to go, and then we will see what it looks like when we top it off with this cute little sign. I think I need to do this one also upside down. Struggling with my scissors, that's unusual. Might be getting worn down. They last a really long time. Especially for all the abuse I put them through. Okay. 2 more. No. Oh, what did I do? Cut short myself on the polka dot. I sure did, guys. I guess I can't count today either. Either that or I've lost one of them. That's okay. We've got this extra piece here that we cut off because I thought it was extra. Turns out it wasn't. Give it a quick dovetail. Some people also dovetail their ribbons one at a time. So if you're not comfortable cutting a whole bunch of them or you're afraid you'll mess it up, that's common. A lot of people do cut them one at a time. I did in the beginning. I did everything one at a time in the beginning. I only started doing my processes now as I got more comfortable. In the beginning, you have a small budget and limited materials, and so you have to be more cautious. As you grow, you can experiment more and take bigger risks, which is basically what I'm describing to you that I have done over the years. Okay. One last ribbon set. Let me move these extras out of my way. Getting everything tangled up. I always say I need a bigger crafting table, but I'm not sure that would really do me any good. I think having a bigger space would just result in me having more stuff on it. Okay, our last ribbon bundle, and then we will be ready to add our sign. It's exciting. We're going to see what this looks like. Okay, and here it is with all of our ribbons. Okay, let's grab our sign over here. And earlier, if you weren't with me, we glued on our sign mounts with this DAP Rapid Fuse glue. That's what I always use. It cures very quickly, so that's why I use it. And then it has these holes. You can either top to bottom or side to side. Feed your pipe cleaner through. And then I just give it like 2 good twists. Same thing on the bottom here. And now we don't have to add extra holes to our sign or have wires showing. Everything is coming straight out of the back. And here's our adorable, adorable little sign. Matches that ribbon to perfection, which I really love. Okay, and I'm just going to try to center it up here. I'm going to feed the first set of pipe cleaners down through at the top here. I'm going in between one of the orange and one of the purple meshes. And I'm going to wrap it in the back around 2 of the rings on the frame. I'm going to mess up my ribbons when I do this probably, but to show you guys what I'm talking about, on these are what I call rings, and we have 4 of them. I'm going to wrap these around the 2 inside ones. I'm not going to pull this real tight just yet, just a little bit, and then twist it several times, but I don't twist it all the way because I want to make sure I get it centered before I twist it down all the way. Okay, so again, I'm just going to try to come straight down here, go in between the pieces of mesh, around the 2 inside rings, just like I did up there. And I don't pull my sign real tight anyway, because I pull it a little tight to make it look like a cohesive part of the design. But I don't pull it super tight, because if you do, it's going to sink all the way to the back and of your mesh and give you like this kind of hole here. And I don't like that look. I like it to be on top and have these little curls and the ribbons just all framing around it. So I'll go through and adjust these curls when I hang it up also. But that looks pretty centered to me, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and twist these, and then I'll turn this back over. Actually, it doesn't look like I messed up the ribbons too bad. That's good. I'll show you. Okay. So now I'm just going to finish twisting this one. And again, you'll see I didn't pull it really tight because I didn't want it to sink all the way in. And then I just like to take the end of this pipe cleaner and push it up inside or wrap it around one of these bars, because the ends are sharp and I don't want it to cut or scratch my door or my customer's door. Okay, now I got to remember which way I'm twisting. Okay. And then this one we didn't finish, so I'm going to go ahead and just twist it some more and push the end up inside. And that is how I attach my signs. I think this is so cute, and I am loving that pop of yellow for the unusual look. What do you guys think? Give me hearts if you like it. Laughy faces if you don't. Okay, so then we have to decide if we want to add any berries or anything. I don't know. I'm really liking it the way it is. I don't think I'm going to add anything to it, but we'll pull these out here and kind of test it out. So I've got like these black and white berries that I could cut into little pieces or tuck around, coming out of the middle of the ribbons. What do y'all think? Should I add berries or just leave it like it is? I am totally undecided. So I'm going to decide after we finish the live, and then when I post, you guys will see what decision I make. This is kind of cute. I don't know though. I think the black and white berries might be taken away from my whimsical pop of yellow. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think I'm going to save the berries for something else, but I'll make a final decision here after a while. Okay, you guys, I'm all done. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, if you're watching on replay, be sure to type hashtag replay, let me know, and follow my page. And also let me know if I should do some more of my Halloween tutorials on live this week on Facebook. I'd like to have some feedback on whether or not that's content you guys would like to see me put out. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.